You see, most competitors think that they'll lose on stage because of the physique, when realistically it's in the head, it's in the posing, it's in a bunch of other things. I'm Dudley Dixon, founder of Physique Coach, bodybuilder, well, ex-bodybuilder now, and I'm involved with everything more to do with bodybuilding. I just do it for the love of it. I'm here with...
I'm Emma Hyndman, the posing pro. I've been in the bodybuilding industry, oh my gosh, like over a decade now. Competed for 6 years, got 2 pro cards, IFBB pro card and a PCA pro card. And now I'm still a posing coach. I've got a posing pro academy as well. So everything posing related, bodybuilding related. Yeah.
That's why we've named this Under the Lights. So,
Under the Lights.
Welcome to the show. These are nice lights, to be fair.
They are.
Stages seem to have good lighting now, especially PCA. It's one of the best stages in the UK in terms of lighting, production value, production quality. Is that what do you see in the field of UK bodybuilding at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. I think PCA, for me, dominates the British bodybuilding scene, especially when it comes to production. They've definitely evolved massively. Like, I remember the first PCA show, which must have been... gosh, easily maybe 10 years ago, I think, or maybe a little bit less. But the production, how they run the shows, every single client that steps into my studio, they all say they have a really good experience when they go to the PCA shows. And I just think, like, they just run such a tight ship there, and it just shows, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly what I was trying to show with the backstage cam, what I did at the Universe. I was like to Ryan, we need to showcase more of this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what the people want to see. And I think it went down really well. But it's also like what the athletes want to feel, because we put so much into prep, and you'll go to certain federations or whatever, you get 2 minutes on stage and then you're off and it's done. It's not a lot of love. I said, if we make the athletes feel like superstars, that is the best thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Interview them, talk to them, make them feel special on that day. That was exactly what I kind of wanted to do. Because I know when I go up on stage, might be my ego or whatever, but like, I want to feel like a superstar. It's my day. It's like a wedding day. Do you know what I mean?
We literally as well. It's like your wedding day. Please don't ever say that to future wifey, please.
I've not had one yet, so I don't know.
No, but I think, like, when you do go on stage, you've got to think about, right, we know how many weeks you put into prep, right? We sacrifice so much when we are prepping for a show. You know, you're dieting, you're not socializing, you could do coffee dates and that's about it. So when you do get on stage, you want to feel like a superstar, don't you? And every time I used to step on stage, for me, it was like, it was a show. I was performing. It was a moment just to showcase everything that you've been working for. So, you want the good lights. Yes, you want the good backdrop. Yeah, you want that awesome experience backstage, feeling not just like you're an amateur that's doing a small show. Actually, you feel appreciated. And I think that's what makes you want to go back and do it again. You know? And
performing a good, well put together routine on a stage like that just feels... all the more better, instead of like a little pop-up stage or whatever. You're performing on like a big stage, the backdrop, so you're going to get a full professional video like for free. It's going to be up on Instagram, and you want to make an amazing routine for that as well. You also don't want to look stupid online.
Yeah, for sure. I actually did. Did you ever do Body Power, PCA Body Power?
No, I remember
it. Oh my God, what a show. So myself and Michaela MacDonald, who's also a posing coach as well, we used to do like guest posing for all the PCA shows, and we did Body Power, and it was out of this world. It literally felt like it was a showcase, it was a performance, and I just think that's where you get a different experience with the PCA. I love it.
Do you think like federations are rewarding the right type of physiques at the moment in bodybuilding? Because I feel like there's so much more like refinement coming in and more classes, and it's like fine margin between some of the classes. Sometimes that's what it feels like. Do we need to open up more classes? Do we need to, what do we need to do? Because it seems like bodybuilding is trying to find a place for everyone.
Yeah, I think obviously we've recently had the introduction of Fit Model for the females, which I think was definitely needed. With anything, I think with any kind of sport, especially with bodybuilding, the categories consistently start to consistently progress, and they get a little bit excessive, right? Like, we're seeing bodybuilders, especially, you know, even our open division, they're looking bigger, harder, drier than they ever have done. And that filters down through all of the categories. The bikini girls were starting to, well, they could be classed as miniature figure girls. Like, how the bikini girls look now is close to what you would maybe see a figure girl girl looking 8 years ago. So that gap, it does get shorter and shorter, doesn't it? So I do think for the females, the introduction of Fit Model was definitely needed. And I think once you get about 6 months to 9 months of the category going, you start to see the clear separation between, you know, that slightly smaller criteria to that next jump up. So I do think it was needed. I don't think we need any more right now. Like, we've got a lot.
What do you think about the men's side? Because obviously men's physique is... I remember when I first saw men's physique, I was like, oh, I'm seeing the Olympia stage. I'm like, I can make it to the Olympia stage. But then as I've grown with bodybuilding, the class has also then grown.
Yeah.
You're then chasing that physique that was Olympia level. I could have been Olympia level, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, that first ever men's physique. That's what I was thinking in my head. But then every single year you saw that step up of muscularity, what they were expecting and all that kind of stuff. So now there is a gap at the lower end. Do we need anything in that gap, or is it just for men? Anything less than that is not bodybuilding.
I think for me, anything less than that is like male, like modeling, you know, like WBFF or you know, front of Men's Health. I don't think really you can scale it down anymore. Obviously, you know, the great thing about a lot of federations, especially PCA, you've got first timers. You've got first timers shows now. So if you are a first timer and you're new to the industry, you can actually enter a federation where you're not in an open category. And obviously the guys have always had more categories than the girls, right? Yeah. The guys have got a first timers category, then you've got a novice category, then you can do men's, and then obviously I know different divisions, but you have got men's open bodybuilding, you've got classic, you have got men's physique. I mean, how many more can we add in?
Yeah, no, I don't think men.
I'm like, men, no, you're done. You've had a lot for a long time. It's the girls that now, actually, the girls, I guess, are taken over, because you've got, what have we got? Fit model.
Yep.
Bikini, if we're talking PCA, trained bikini. Then you've got toned figure, athletic figure, trained figure, wellness.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a lot. If you're not fitting into one of those, you ain't ready to get on stage, love.
Yeah, just find one of those to fit into. But what you're saying about the first timer show, anytime I get someone who is a first timer athlete and they're like, oh, I want to do a show on this day, I might want to do the Manchester one. I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't want you to do that. Like, as a first time, make use and go into the first
100%.
time, because you're going to be going backstage and you're experiencing the same thing as everyone else for the first time, and that stress, that mental kind of thought of like, everyone's done this before, you don't have it there.
Yeah, everyone's in the same boat, right?
You're all going to tanning at the same time with little socks on your willies, and it's the first time that everyone in that room is
everyone's feeling the same. They're all like, eek.
Whereas like me, when I go in now, I don't care. Like, I just strip my stuff off and I'm like,
it's stuff
ladies,
like
go on.
That we kind of forget about. You know, when you're a little bit more of a seasoned pro, it just like becomes normal. You just, especially for the girls, like, you literally just go in there, you're not wearing anything. Yeah. There's nothing covered up. So all is exposed. And if you're doing that for the first time, that's another daunting part of it. I don't even think about that anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
No. I heard a story about Nathan Diasher about, like, he just doesn't care. He was getting tanned by someone who said they tanned him, and I was like, he was probably one of the least caring people ever. He just walked backstage, took his stuff off, and like, go on then.
I can literally imagine Nathan being like that. That does not surprise me in the slightest.
But it's
you just
so
get over
weird
it though, like, because and especially for me, especially in the studio, like, you see so many bodies, and a body is just another body. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah,
I think this is a hot topic, actually. Sexualizing bodybuilding. Now, there's a separation for me in my brain. I've worked with so many female clients as well. I've watched so many bodybuilding shows, and the sexual thought is not even in the brain. But say, like, I've gone to a show, and maybe one of my clients have had mates there, and their mates have never been to a bodybuilding show before, and they're sat watching the bikini classes, and they're like, oh, I bet it's amazing doing this for a job every day. You get to look at this every day. And like, it doesn't even cross my mind. Like, I'm looking at, like, if it's a good physique, if it's a bad physique, what are the quads like? What's the condition like?
Oh, you've got a little bit more fat to come off your glutes there.
And they're looking at it in a totally different lens to me, and I don't know. It's
I think
crazy,
as well, when you see, I come from a dance background, and we're like so super used to even just like dancing with someone and having that contact, and, you know, the skin contact. That becomes normal. It's like the boundaries are set differently. And I think especially with bodybuilding, like, as a male coach, firstly, you've got to put that boundary firmly in place, because let's be honest, there is coaches out there that don't put those boundaries in place, and we see all sorts coming up on social media about people being exposed. But it's like, you become just like, it's objective, isn't it?
Yeah.
That, like, the body is an object basically, and it's not a sexualized object because, you know, I remember when I used to check in with Jordan, there was absolutely no way, Jordan Peters, that he could find my check-ins sexual at all. Like, you're rolling out of bed, you're throwing on your bikini, your hair's all over the place. I've still got like crease marks on my face. There shouldn't be anything sexy about that at all. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think as well, as a female, you want to feel safe in this industry as well, because there is the positives and negatives. So you got to know, you find a good coach that isn't looking at you in that sense. But yeah, it's funny because when people come for the first time, I guess it does look sexual.
Yeah, there's no difference in it. It's.
But for the guys, when I get guys in the studio sometimes as well, and they're like, I'm not too sure about getting on stage, and all these guys being in their like tight underpants, and I'm like, are we still talking about this? Like, that's
no one cares.
No one cares. Like, everyone is literally in the same boat. He's like, are my briefs going to be too small? And I'm like, no, they actually need to be smaller.
Yeah.
Like, So there's that as well. And I think when you're new, it's like, there's so much to just navigate.
Yeah, I think the scariest thing for me first time was posing though. I remember my first show, like I was shaking on stage and stuff. It's just all the adrenaline and stuff like that. So how would you get over that hurdle of, I mean, actually we saw someone, I was shadow judging at the show in Manchester a few weeks. Was it Manchester? I think I did. Yeah. And there was a girl shaking on stage and I was like, come on girl, you've got it. You've got it.
Yeah.
And she had an amazing physique, but she just couldn't present it because of those nerves. And you might be able to do it amazingly in the studio, but when you're going on stage under the lights, it's a whole different game. So how are you getting over that?
One thing that I always suggest is go to as many stage coaching events as you can. Put yourself in an environment that feels like you're under pressure. Because if you're under pressure, then you're going to get a little bit more of a feeling of how that is going to feel on stage. I remember when I did my first show, as I said, I'm a performer, used to being on stage. I was shaking in my first show. You know, I think sometimes it's difficult to overcome those nerves and that adrenaline. But I say practice. Put yourself in environments where it's not just you in the studio with the mirrors and your phone. Get your friends to maybe come into the studio, get your partner to come and watch you. Do your posing on the gym floor. Like, I think that's also a big one as well. And just you've got to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. And also, I think if you're nervous and you are lacking that confidence, self-talk. Like, I spent a lot of time after my first show doing a lot of visualization and just thinking about myself being on stage, executing perfectly and making sure there was no mistakes. I was smiling, and also terminology. So I'm big on like mindset and performance mindset. And I would never say the words, I'm nervous. I'd say I'm excited. So, you know, those little tricks and tips, I find they really help. But I'm going to be honest, sometimes the body's going to do what it's going to do, and you sometimes just can't stop yourself from shaking. But you find, you know, the next time you get on stage, it's a little bit less, you're calmer, you know what the order is when you're at the show, and then the next one after that feels a little bit better. So sometimes as well, it's just time, right?
Yeah, I think with me, even though I've had a lot of time in like performing arts schools and like all of that from young, doing dance, so I've been up on stages and I've done stuff, speaking in front of people, and even I still dealt with the shaking thing on my first show. So you might have done this for so long, like being in front of people, but it's just different, right? It's different. It's different,
and I don't know it's because like you've got to hold your poses. I don't know what it is, but I remember my first show at the Batley Frontier. It was NABBA, and I was literally like, I was two things: a rabbit in the headlights and a sponge at the same time. I was kind of like, what the have I walked into here? Like, I hadn't watched a show. There was nothing really on social media because I think Instagram had just started. Yeah. So there wasn't really a lot of like content or footage to watch of people on stage. So you're definitely walking in blind. Whereas now as well, just to add to that with the stagecraft, I think there is so many opportunities and events and things you can go to prepare yourself for that first time on stage. I think had I been more prepared, had I have gone to a stage coaching workshop, had I have, put myself in certain environments or gone to events where they talk about what happens on stage and you can watch other people performing on stage, I probably would have been a lot calmer. But now I feel like, yeah, you're going to be nervous, but in regards to performing and executing your posing well, I don't really think there's an excuse.
No,
if I'm honest.
I remember my first show was Leeds Town Hall.
You did UKBFF, right?
UKBFF,
I remember that, Dudley.
Leeds Town Hall.
That Dudley was not like this. Dudley was like this. Like, how old were you?
21, I think.
Because we go way back.
Yeah,
I met you when you were like 18?
No,
Maybe younger, 16?
No, 20.
Oh, were you?
I think.
20.
Yeah.
Well, he looked younger.
Because I came back from America.
Yeah.
I just came back from America.
And you started
that's when
working at the gym.
started working at the gym with you. And then that's when I went into my first show, probably 6 months after I don't even know, actually. It might have been a short prep.
Yeah, it was
really
a real short prep.
But I didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
And it was.
There was nowhere to go, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Now you can ask ChatGPT. Do you know what I mean? Like, or you can find it on YouTube or social media. That's why I'm like, there is a plethora of information out there now.
And especially with like the new classes.
Yes.
So like even then men's physique posing, I don't think a lot of people was like what it needed, touched up on what it needed to be. I didn't know myself, so there was certain things that I was doing, like when I was hitting my front shot, I was expanding my rib cage because I was thinking like, this is bodybuilding, I've got to fill up and look as big as possible, when realistically I needed to crunch down on the abs and get my abs tight and not try and bring my lats out wide. I was thinking like a bodybuilder, not like a men's physique guy. But there weren't too many cues and stuff that we could learn from because we didn't see too much of it and weren't really understanding of it. And similar to Fit Model coming in new now, there might be like the posing might just go like this for a little while until it really gets locked into. With bodybuilding, you got your abs and thigh, you got your front double, what it's
easier with the bodybuilding
like.
Categories, right? But when these new female categories come out, it can be a little bit of blurred lines, isn't there?
Right, we're going to do a quick fun game segment for you now where you have to guess the pose. You've got 3 seconds to guess the pose. We're going to have it flashing up on screen and then we'll give you the answer. We've got 10 poses here. It'll get progressively harder as we get closer to the end. So let's see if you can do it. Right. What's this pose? Front double bicep.
This pose. Side chest.
What's this one? Side tricep.
The next one. Rear lat spread.
Next one. Abdominals on thigh.
Next one. Front lat spread.
Next one. Rear double bicep.
Next one. Archer.
Next one. Victory pose.
Last one. Teacup.
If you got 10 out of 10, I mean, even if you failed and you got 1 out of 10, put it down in the comments and let us know what you got. That's it for us for this episode 1. Episode 1 of Under the Lights. Catch you in a bit.
Thanks, guys. That felt so easy. It just flows, doesn't it?